Day 3 of the test match between India versus West Indies. Well, you have to say the inevitable has happened. We all knew at the back of our minds, India are the front runners in the series, but you can see there's a huge gap to bridge between India and West Indies. India being the top ranked team, convincing in all three departments, whereas West Indies on the other hand, 8th ranked team in the last two cycles, shown why they've been struggling with their cricket. The match got over in the third day, India winning by an innings and 141 runs, and more on that. India started the day at 312 for 2. Yashasvi and Virat Kohli just continued where they left off, and they took the score to 350 before Yashasvi Jaiswal got out on 171. The longest inning in terms of minutes, time played by an Indian debutant. It was over 500 minutes, a terrific knock before he got caught behind to an innocuous ball. Virat Kohli, on the other hand, got a 50, a hard-working one, got a couple of opportunities, a few dropped catches. Craig Brathwaite dropped him at covers. Joshua De Silva dropped him behind of Kemar Roach's bowling. It wasn't the easiest 50 for Virat Kohli. I think stroke making was very, very hard. As you saw through the game, all the batters took their time. You could see the run rate was consistently between 2.5 and 3, which tells you that run scoring wasn't easy. Jadeja again came in at an interesting time, just took his time, got a 37 of 82 balls, batted really well, very effective as usual in a very Jadeja way. But there were some interesting moments, some funny moments. I think Ishan Kishan was sent into bat because it was his debut as well, to go in and just score a run before India decided they could declare. But it literally took him 19 balls, and I think Rohit Sharma got a little irritated at that point and came out and said, get the one run, we want to declare and start bowling again, and that's what they did. But what was interesting in the day's play is what India wanted to happen exactly happened. I think they wanted Ashwin and Jadeja to strike early, and that they did, and they did really convincingly, and it was good to watch. But from a West Indian point of view, not so good, I guess. Ravichandran Ashwin, what a test match he's having. Everybody spoke about the fact that World Test Championship final, should he have played, should he have not played, doesn't matter. I think let bygones be bygones. I think he's come to West Indies like a man possessed and has got his best figures ever while travelling abroad. 12 for 131 is what he's got. He's found a way to get in this test match. And in a single inning as well, abroad, 7 for 71 is his best bowling figures. The man is made of steel. He's again making it work. He could be aging, but he's definitely aging like fine wine. He is just getting better by the day. He's now got the most number of 10 wicket hauls ever by an Indian, along with Anil Kumble. He shares the record. And number of bowlers across the world to have played the sport, he stands with the most number of 5 wicket hauls, along with Rangana Herath in the 5th place. Just in the first innings, I said he was in the 6th place. In a matter of one innings, he's climbed from 6th to 5th. That just shows the man. He has always been a step ahead of his opponents. Just the way he operated today, the kind of deliveries that he was able to bowl, but most importantly, he got a lot of assistance from the pitch and made best use of it. Just watching an interview, he said about how he got over his jet lag, the kind of processes he has in terms of trying to get the body ready. And he said, interestingly, on turning pitches, he sometimes has to understand what the speed he needs to bowl, the kind of revolutions he needs to impart, and he does it on cement pitches on Astro, so that he's able to kind of, in many ways, recreate what he will be facing in the game, so that when the pitch starts turning from the day one or second day, he is able to understand and adjust as to what speeds he must be bowling. He is always somebody who's always thought about his game. Great players have one thing in common: awareness. And I think awareness creates consistency, and that's what Ashwin has been all about. Consistent and a legend in his own making. He has been phenomenal for Team India for a decade or more now, and we just keep hoping that he goes from strength to strength. Is there anything that the West Indian batters could have learnt looking at the Indian batters? From the likes of Rohit, Virat, Yashasvi, Jadeja, I feel 3 things that they could have easily observed. 1, game plan. Game plan is understanding what your game is about. What am I good at, and how am I going to make it happen in this pitch? That is very important. On a pitch like in Dominica where it turns, what are the shots that I'm going to employ? So that would also mean understanding that it is okay for me to get out in certain ways. We just saw the West Indian batters get out innocuously, just defending sometimes, just not being sure of what they wanted to do. Yes, the odd good ball was going to come their way, but if they're just going to be defending, which they did a lot of the times, they're just going to be sitting ducks. So in between that, what are the kind of shots that you need to play? You saw Virat Kohli trusting his defense, but in between that, making sure he got a lot of singles. Rohit Sharma, on the other hand, put away balls that were half bad by either using his feet or slog sweeping. Yashasvi Jaiswal was a great case study actually, because he swept the ball, reverse swept depending on the field. So he put the pressure back on the bowler. Yes, the bowlers weren't probably the quality of an Ashwin or a Jadeja, which is obviously world class, but still they found a way to put pressure back on the bowlers. Now that is something that they need to figure out their game plan. Number two, skill set acquisition. When they play domestic cricket, I think they need to be very aware of what they're not good at and try and get better at that. I think that requires a lot of awareness, help from the coaches, and that's where infrastructure comes into play as well. And the last thing, hunger. You saw Virat Kohli play 182 balls to get his 76. He is a man who's played more than 100 tests, and if he is doing that, there must be some purpose to it. He doesn't want to give away or throw away his wicket. By no means I'm saying that the West Indian batters gave it away easy. Yes, the quality of bowling was far higher, but there were occasions when the batter was set, they still played shots that they shouldn't have been playing. And that was what was disappointing. It is okay to lose, but it is not okay to in many ways surrender and give things away too easily, and that's what I felt happened with this West Indian team. Fan question of the day. DK sir, do you see India sticking to this left-right opening combo going forward in tests? Has Jaiswal sealed the opening spot? Has Jaiswal sealed his spot and his left-right combination the right way? I definitely think so. Over a period of time, if you have the chance to bat with the right and left combination, nothing like it. Even though it is test cricket, sometimes it can be useful. It needn't be useful always, but sometimes it does. And it really helps the batters as well. We have seen over a period of time, India have been blessed with good opening combinations. The Sehwag, Gambhirs, M. Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan. And today it is Jaiswal and Rohit. We just hope that they go from strength to strength, because when they batted, they looked very sure about what they wanted to do, very authoritative, and you felt they were always on top of the bowlers, a little ahead of the bowlers a lot of the times, and that's what you would want the top order batsmen to exhibit. And with more matches will come more confidence, and as they tour abroad in tougher conditions, at the end of the year they're going to be touring South Africa, which is going to be very different and very alien conditions for Yashasvi. But if they can both make a match in heaven, it will be one of the best things to happen to Indian cricket, because a strong opening combination sets the platform and sets the base for the rest of the innings. The second test match between West Indies and India becomes an even more important one for West Indies. They haven't won a test against India since 2002. That's almost 2 decades now, and I think they'll want to turn that around. But they do have a mental block against India, and they need to find a way to sort that out. Do they need to make some changes? There is Shannon Gabriel, who's a fast bowler. Do they need to bring him in for one of the medium pacers? Or should they go and add an extra batsman and drop one of the medium pacers? That's something that they need to be looking at. Kirk McKenzie is an option for them in the batting department. Are they going to go in his direction? Whereas on the other hand, I feel that India wouldn't make any changes. Be it their mindset, be it their skill set. They're just going to bring the same brand of cricket to the table. They have been very strong, very sure about what they want. They've dominated it. The Ashwin Jadeja combo working wonders. The debutant Yashasvi Jaiswal has done phenomenally well. There is no room for changes unless there is an injury. They have a 5-day break now. In the Caribbean, you generally go to the beaches, you relax, and I think that's what they'll be doing for the next 2-3 days, and then they'll practice a couple of days before the game, before they get into the next test match. But what West Indies needs to bring is a lot of fire, which they are capable of. Under Craig Bathwaite, they have done a few special things. They need to draw confidence from that. They need to draw belief from that. Somewhere, I think they've lost it in the mind before the test is started, and that's not how international cricket should be played. And I think they will know that they're a team which is much better than the performance that they've put in this last test match.